morning. It's quite early here, so excuse me if my voice is a bit croaky. Haven't had my first coffee yet. I want to talk today about choosing peace. A lot of us get caught up, and I certainly know that I have, in the melodrama of life. We love the drama. It's exciting. It's something to chat about at work. It seems like we're not living a boring life. There's always something exciting to talk about, but sometimes it takes tragedy or extreme drama in a person's life to help them realize that what they really want is peace. And for me, that was a sort of a cumulative event over the course of a year and a half. Two of my close family members passed away. One of them was my mum. There was a major trauma for another close family member. Another had a cancer diagnosis. Thankfully healed, which is great. But it was traumatic. Loss of a business and, everything that person owned. There was so much happened. Thankfully, nothing for me, but I was the sort of support person for all of these people. I'm one of those, in my family that if paperwork needs to be done, or, I'm always the executor of deceased estates, the one that people rely on to sort out details, organise things, doctors, whatever the situation is. So I was in the middle of all of these events, and when I finally could come home, when things were sorted enough, I discovered that for the first time in my life, and I'm 63 now, so I've had a long life with things happening in it, over time. But the cumulative effect of all of these things happening made my, I guess you'd call my emotional strength, which I'd always relied on, really shaky. For the first time, I was thinking, oh, maybe I can't cope with that, and I'd never thought that. I'd never imagined that I could not cope in a situation. I always coped. And so when I came home, I realized I really needed to heal. I needed steadiness and healing. And so I chose peace as my sort of belated New Year's resolution. And in fact, the next 2 years in a row, continued to have peace as my New Year's resolution. And what that meant for me was that every decision that I made was based on the simple question, will this bring me peace? And at first I would forget that, and things would be happening and I would be caught up in the melodrama. That old software kicks in, and, you're partway into, listening to gossip or getting involved in someone else's problem or what have you. And but gradually over time, I came to realize this sooner. And sometimes it would only take me 30 seconds to realize that I was starting to feel agitated inside. And I think what happens, the trauma aside of all the things that happened to me, I think our lives train us like a frog in a pot of boiling water. We don't realize how agitated inside we get. We don't even realize we are agitated inside. But in my searching for peace, I discovered a feeling of peace from time to time. And so it was much easier for me to recognize when I wasn't at peace, when I was starting to get agitated. And so I would withdraw from conversations. I withdrew actually from 2 friendships. One had already sort of gone by the wayside, and that was a 30-year relationship before all the drama happened. But that person kind of came back into my life wanting to rekindle the friendship. And when I asked myself that question, will this bring me peace? It was very clear that it would not. That friendship had always been troubled, and that person very often didn't respect my boundaries, and really it was only my very strong loyalty program that had kept me in there, that part in the back of your brain thinking, oh, you've been friends for so long. But this time when they came back around, I realized, no, I have a very peaceful life now, and I choose peace. So I chose not to take up that offer of the renewed friendship and another friendship which was so hard to let go of. A friend that I'd known since they were 4 and I was 5. That was so a friendship that I never thought would end, until one or the other of us passed away. But it had been very, lacking in peace, very downbeat and exhausting, and unsupportive. And I realized that if I was to continue to have peace in my life, that these were the tough decisions that I needed to make to let this person go. Nothing I said, no helpful suggestions or acts ever made any difference. They kind of couldn't get out of their own way to help themselves. And, I just kind of thought, maybe trying to justify it at the time because it seemed inexcusable to let go of a friendship from that long. I just told myself maybe they'd be better off without me. Maybe they will, instead of me propping them up emotionally all the time, if they don't have that, maybe they will get out of their own way to try and make their life better. But in any case, the important part to me is that I've got less years ahead of me than I've got behind me. I want the time remaining to be good. I want to be with people who are happy for my successes, who are commiserate with me when I'm upset, sad about something. Because choosing peace doesn't mean that the world suddenly stops, giving you lemons. I mean, you need to just choose how you react to the world. And so, my external circumstances, certainly there does seem to be a lot less drama in it, potentially because of the choices that I've made. But that doesn't mean that life won't throw things my way. I'm just very practiced now in thinking, will this bring me peace? I surround myself with reminders of peace. This lovely old poem, Desiderata, if that's how it's pronounced. I can remember the song from way back that first introduced me to that. I read that regularly. One of the lines in it is avoid loud and aggressive persons. They are vexations to the spirit. If you compare yourself with others, you may become vain and bitter, for always there will be greater and lesser persons than yourself. Speak your truth quietly and clearly and listen to others. These are important things to me, and they've helped me find peace. So I surround myself with my little rabbits that are quite peaceful. I've got a cute little rabbit over here on a cushion as well. I find them very soothing. I have things on my coffee table that give me pleasure, little rabbit cards. I'll put a link in the description to, where you can get them. I got them from Etsy. They're very, the artist is just lovely. She has her own YouTube channel, Cottage Fairy, which I find very soothing. I watch her as well. Her videos are very peaceful. So I choose I choose peace. And that's not to say that I don't get drawn into the drama, but when I journal every day, um, and when I get drawn into the drama, I'm journaling to myself about how did that happen, what did I learn. So I'm trying to be self-aware. Not always been the most self-aware person on the planet, but I'm trying to find my way there. And these are the ways, I guess, that I've managed to do that. And I just wanted to share that with you. If anybody in YouTube land has decided for themselves that they would choose peace, I'd love to hear how you did that, what the methods were that you used, how long it took you to feel that deep peace. I feel that now. Sometimes just listening to the ocean across the road from me just soothes me. And, I try to find things that soothe me in my environment. So I would love, love, love to hear comments from other people on how they've found peace, because this is still a journey for me. I just wanted to share where I am currently and give you some tips if you're starting off on that journey of peace. That sometimes it's hard to let go of things that you're locked into that don't give you peace, but if I can just reassure you, this is your life. These are your decisions to make. So I wish you all the best with that journey, and look forward to hearing your thoughts.